Let's talk about simple, healthy habits or how to maintain your human body so that you can support whatever chronic conditions you're living with. Hi, I'm Melissa from Melissa vs. Fibromyalgia, and I have been living with chronic symptoms for pretty much my whole life. I've been significantly impacted by them for more than 15 years, and I've been sharing my journey here on this channel and on my blog since 2010. I have taken my pain and fatigue levels from an average of 7 out of 10 down to about 4 out of 10. And a lot of the things I do are normal, healthy living practices. So I have created a special daily healthy habits for chronic pain and fatigue guide and worksheet. This is available to download. I'll put the link for you below, but I thought I'd go through it with you just to make it easy for you to use it. So this is just talking about those things that go alongside your symptom management plans. I'm not saying any of these things replaces good symptom management plans. So this is just those things that help you to have a healthy life. You know, you all know things like sleep, getting outside, managing your stress, all that kind of thing. That's just like a baseline to being human. And so I follow a lot of people online, a lot of productivity people. I'm very into that kind of thing, but it never quite hits the mark for someone with chronic illness. So the reason I made this guide and sharing this content is because I want to show you how you can take self-care, normal daily human management, and put it into your day in a chronic illness friendly manner, but in a way that will also be supportive to the chronic illness. So I know that you will have heard of the 5 a.m. devotees and the people who have their habit stacking and their military style workouts, and they do it all before 7 a.m. Well, unless you're getting enough good quality sleep by 5 a.m., I don't recommend getting up that early. And if you have fibromyalgia and chronic fatigue syndrome, I doubt that you are getting enough sleep to get up by 5. But I do practice a morning routine, and I took what I need and what I can do, and it has really made a difference for me because all the things I do in my routine are things that are really supportive for overall human health. So for me, that looks like sitting for 5 minutes, some stretching or trigger point work, sitting with my heating pad and watching the sunrise in the tui, that's a native New Zealand bird, dancing in the trees. And then I try to do 1 round of sun salutations when I'm getting dressed, just to really inhabit my body and try and get a little bit of movement in. I'm not very flexible first thing in the morning. That is not a good time of the day to try and be flexible, but that makes me feel good. And then evening routines are a wonderful way to get some self-care going, but also be supportive towards your sleep. And if we make something a habit, we are more likely to do it. So I have lots of things that I set up, and so I'd love to share it all with you. But I wanted to give you an idea of some of the things that would be great for the list. But I also want to tell you whatever is supportive to you, whatever makes sense to you, and whatever fits that's what should be on your list. So start small. So in this handout, I provide a worksheet, and you can print it as many times as you want for your own use. So you could make a plan for this month, and then next month, maybe you want to be a little more ambitious, up to you. But there's little tiny things you could do. Like maybe you want to have a big glass of warm water with lemon in the morning to ease yourself into the day. Maybe you want to take 5 deep breaths. Maybe you want to say an affirmation. We'll get more into the detail of what you can put on your list, but don't think of it as anything big and crazy. Most of the things on my list are things that help with the chronic pain and fatigue, and most of them, to be honest, help me to kind of get out of the sympathetic state. So this is just a preview of the worksheet. It is very simple. It has morning, evening, and then daily habits, which you'll see when you go and download the free guide. But I also give you a list of ideas to get you started. So some of them is breath work, yoga, meditation, visualizations, affirmations, warm baths, walking, healthy eating, self-massage, trigger point work, physiotherapy, being outside, quiet time, electrolytes, lemon and ginger infusion. I mean, you get the idea, right? You can get the gist of what's on the list. And the sky's the limit, really. There are a lot of supportive practices. I have been following a lot of videos lately of people who have been implementing Dr. Andrew Huberman. I think he's a neuroscientist. He has a researched back kind of morning routine of things he recommends. So he recommends getting outside and light in your eyes first thing in the morning, delaying your caffeine by 90 to 120 minutes, some cold exposure, and some like mindfulness and things like that. And so all these little things, they can be broken down into a micro routine, but you can see how they align to be supportive for chronic symptoms, but also for just what's general good practice. So the example, so what kind of things could you put on your daily healthy living list? So for me, it's stretching every 30 minutes you're at the computer. It's yoga nidra meditation in the afternoon. It's breath work as I need it, getting outside for at least 10 minutes, taking a walk, literally into the street and back, right? I'm not talking marathons, I'm talking short walk, and prioritize protein at each meal. That's just some examples. So let's talk about the morning routine, and let's just start with, I know you're probably not feeling great when you wake up in the morning, and you probably are a little bit stiff and you need some time to ease into the day. I hear you, friend. I am the same. So in the morning, say you just really struggle with waking up in the morning, why don't you start in bed? Why don't you start with 5 deep breaths, or popping on a chapter of an audiobook so that you can ease into the day? Maybe do some stretches in bed, maybe do a gratitude practice in bed, anything supportive. And if you need to start in bed, start in bed. For example, my morning routine, as I've said, is I set the alarm 15 minutes before the kids are allowed to get up. That's about the maximum I can afford to get up. And so I get up, I come out, I get my heat pack, coffee and toast, because I have to have toast in my tummy to have the coffee. And I sit quietly right next to a window. As we're coming into spring and summer, I can open the doors, which will help with that kind of outside light. But I listen to the tui, I take some deep breaths, and I'll usually read or whatever I'm into at the moment. So at the moment I'm going back through the Mindful Based Stress Reduction Program by Jon Kabat-Zinn. So I'm reading a little bit of that book at the time, and then when I go to get dressed, I'll do a round of sun salutations just to move my body a little bit and to get some breath work going and to just ease into the day. But it might not work for you. Your body might be too stiff and sore to do anything looking like yoga, but you could do a few stretches, you could do some breath work, you could do a gratitude or a journaling practice. Again, listen to a chapter of an audiobook, anything that serves you. For me, I need some quiet first thing in the morning. I get very overwhelmed if I get up and the kids are already up and they're already going at me. So that's the basis of my morning, is to give myself some quiet downtime before we start the day. Now the evening routine, again, this is a thing that you want to make that's supporting you to get to sleep and wind down from the day. And so it could be spread from the beginning. So maybe if you're managing to work, maybe when you first get home from work, you want to do some restorative yoga or a yoga nidra, or take a gentle walk, or just sit outside quietly. Whatever starts to soothe you, that would be a good thing to do. So some things on my example is a gratitude practice, a hot bath with Epsom salts with a bonus, some self-massage, and a body scan meditation. So for me specifically, I take my supplements and my medications on a specific schedule in the evening. And when I get into bed, I sometimes do some stretching or some trigger point work, depending what I need. And then I will read for a little while, and then I finish off with a body scan meditation and then head off to sleep. So for me, it's so ingrained, and I've been doing this for such a long time. And that's what you might find. You'll write this down, you'll get on with it, but hopefully all of these things become second nature to you, and you'll do them naturally across the day anyway, because they are really that supportive. And I believe anything you can do to give yourself some calm and some relaxation is great. And I 100% believe something meditative, so it doesn't have to be meditation, but anything that induces that state of relaxation is a great thing to do. And non-sleep deep rest, which is like a scientific or a kind of a Western way of talking about yoga nidra, is a wonderful thing to do somewhere in your day, anywhere in your day. Dr. Andrew Huberman recommends it as well. So supportive for chronic illness, supportive for anyone else. So that was everything that I had for you. If you need a little more help, So I have a Make a Symptom Management plan kit, and that's like a micro course that you can purchase and download, and that helps you make the pain management plans and the flare plans and that kind of thing. So it's like an adjunct to these healthy healthy daily habits, but also sometimes what you put on your pain management plan will suit your daily habit plan, and vice versa, because you want to be as efficient as possible. You don't want to be spending all day doing these things. And I also have the 10-minute toolkit. So that's 10-minute practices that might fit perfectly into your daily plan. One might be suitable for your morning routine, one might be suitable for your evening routine, and one might happen to fit in the middle of the day. So those are a really great place to start if you're looking for what to actually put in your plan. So head on over and download this free guide, and let me know, what are your favorite daily healthy habits? What are your favorite self-care things that you do for yourself that they're not necessarily for chronic illness, but they kind of help anyway? Thanks guys, and I'll catch you again soon.